Hi there, my name's Brent Vanderswag. I'm the president of GutterExperts.com and founder of GutterCon, which is being held in just 52 days from now in Denver, Colorado. Leading up to GutterCon, I'll be doing a series of events where I'll be chatting with a variety of people in the gutter world, speakers who will be presenting at GutterCon, suppliers, and regular gutter guys just like you and me. We'll be talking about their businesses and how they play a role in today's gutter industry. So I'd like to introduce my guest for today, Colin DeHaan, owner of Superior Exteriors. He's based out of Michigan. Colin is also the creator of the Gutter Installers Facebook page, which many of you are probably members of. It's been up and running since 2018 and boasts 6,500 members and growing 5 to 10 new members every day. Colin is also a certified business coach with Automate, Grow, Sell. How you doing today, Colin?
I'm doing great, Brent. How are you, man?
Good, good. So
Proud of me.
you're down in Nashville right now. You're at some training or at a conference.
I guess more of like a mastermind group, just trying to get around a bunch of dudes and girls smarter than myself and
Yeah.
get better
Hoping
every
some of
day.
that'll rub off on you, huh?
That's right. Exactly.
Okay.
Yep.
So listen, I just want to go back to, maybe let's just tell our audience what's, how you got started. Let's just go back to coming out of high school.
Yeah.
How did you get started in your career?
Right. Yeah. So coming out of high school, I went to college like every good American boy does, and did 4 years and was going to school to be an English teacher. My minor was PE.
Oh,
I
yeah.
wanted to coach sports, man. That was it. That was the whole game, is to get in and coach basketball, baseball. Like
I
that was
saw
it.
actually a picture of you I couldn't really make you out, but it looked like you were at a beach with three or four or two of your buddies. Looked like you were maybe into basketball or something. Just a post this
Oh yeah,
past week I
yeah.
saw. What was your sport of choice?
Yeah, baseball was my sport of choice. I was
Baseball.
always the one I excelled at a little bit more, but I love basketball. I do really enjoy playing basketball. So it's easy. It's easier to do nowadays. You get a few buddies together and you can play, opposed to needing a bunch of guys for a baseball game. So, but yeah, went to college and met my bride there. I did not finish college. I started student assisting and realized that I don't really have the freedom to teach the way that I would want to. And thank God that I did not pursue that, because I would have been fired like 15 times over with all this COVID baloney that's going on in the schools, and allowing girls to be boys and boys to be girls, and that having to be okay with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, I would have been fired quite a few times. So, um,
Was
chase
that
my,
even coming? Was that things like that coming around even back then?
I mean, we were just getting like, um, the whole LGBTQ,
Yeah.
whatever acronym it now is, like, was starting to become a big thing. And whatever, do your thing.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to celebrate it. Right. Like,
Yeah.
so that's just me. I'm probably saying the wrong thing for a live Facebook video, but if this gets out when I run for president in a few years, so be it. But
Well, there may be a lot
uh,
of people that vote for you then.
yeah, right.
I
Maybe. I
certainly
don't
would.
know. So yeah, did that, chase my bride up to our small town, Ludington, Michigan, and I got
Where were
into
you? Where'd you get started?
Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay.
So let's see, how does this work here? Like that? Is that right?
Well,
I don't know. No,
you're
I
going
think
to
it's
show
just,
me the thumb, aren't you?
yeah, I'm sure. So, everybody knows Detroit's here. Grand
Yeah.
Rapids is somewhere over here, and Ludington is up here.
Okay.
So, really small vacation hotspot. There's like 8,000 people that live there, but there's like 20,000 homes, and in the summertime it just like triples. It's awesome. Love it. Extremely blessed to live where I live. But went up there and started selling insurance. Like I got into that. Did that for a couple of years, and I wanted it to work just because you can make decent money doing it. And I like the idea of residual income. It just wasn't me. I ended up actually getting fired.
I think I heard
Yeah,
that.
yep. I got fired from it and went on a vacation with my wife with like $0. And I don't know how we managed to do it, but we went on a vacation to Duke. I've been a huge Duke Blue Devils fan for
Yeah.
almost my whole life, and went to a game down there and just experienced it, and came back, had a job offer while I was down in North Carolina to work at a local supply house selling roofing, siding, gutter, windows, all that stuff. Did that for a year and saw the need for a gutter company, and then the rest is history, man.
Was there
So
one in town already or no?
yeah, there was three.
In that small little
But
town?
yeah, in that small little town. But the problem is getting them to answer the phone, getting them to show up, getting
Yeah.
them to show up and be professional. We had a really hard time referring people, referring our clients to them. It was pretty frequent. I'd refer someone, and I got to be careful because they're on some of these pages, uh, but I'd get calls back like, "Yo, hey, they never showed up," or I never got a call back, or yeah, they showed up and they were great. I was ready to hire them, and I can't get a hold of them. I never got an estimate. They never sent it to me or whatever. So I was like, shoot, man, if I just pick up my phone and show up, I'll make 80K in my first year. And that was double what I was making at the time. And I did. And the rest is history. Just kept building on that. And yeah. So now we do roofing and seamless gutter only. We've tried everything. We did garage doors, we did siding, we did windows, and now it's just roofing and seamless gutter. So
Yeah. Yeah. How long did you do the siding for?
I did siding well, we're still doing it. But right now is the 2 year mark. It's really tough, man. It's tough to find the labor to do siding
I know.
to our standard. And it's just tough. If anybody can side, they do roofing and they make way more money doing roofing. So it's just kind of a no-brainer for people to not do siding. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and a lot of
And there's
times,
so many things that can go wrong on a siding project, just so many little minuscule details that are so hard to like translate from sales process. Sorry, my computer got all weird. From sales process to project manager to the crew to everything. Like there's just so many little things that
did you ever
can.
do siding yourself? Like, did you know it at all other than like, did
Yeah,
you
I had
install it
sided.
yourself?
So when I started the business, we're extremely seasonal, right? We're
Yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah.
So we
Like
get
us.
snow. So like Thanksgiving till April, very, very few gutter jobs, right? So years 1 and 2, I actually helped my father-in-law build houses. So I was siding, I was doing all that stuff. I had sided my own house. Like I knew how to do it, but I
Yeah.
never, one of my claims to fame is I never hung a single piece of siding for my company. I have not laid a single shingle either. I've hung a ton of gutter, but I didn't, that was it. Those are my last of my tech days. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Just going back to your gutter, when you first started your gutter business, did you have any experience hanging gutter at all?
Bro. None, man. It's actually pathetic looking back now. I should stop by my old house. I hung a 7 foot piece of gutter, and it is so ass backwards. It is disgusting. Like the gutter's pitched like it's supposed to be, but water runs to the downspout, but the downspout looks horrendous. I should run by there and take a picture and post it on the installers page and just let them roast me. Um, but my first gutter job ever that wasn't my own house.
Yeah.
Bless this guy's heart. He local guy in town and pretty high up dude, and just wanted to support me. So he hired me. I think the job was like $260 or something, right? It was like 32 feet with cover, right?
Geez, that was a couple bucks a foot.
Yeah, man, it was bad. It was real bad. But it took me and my helper 8 hours to hang a 32-foot piece of gutter and put cover in it. And I look back at that job, just like I mean, that's a 35-minute job now, right? Like
Yeah.
me and a seasoned guy that work together and just know our flow. That's 30 to 40 minutes, right? And just done and out of there. And it took 8 hours. And I look back and I laugh at it. And jobs taking 2 days. And I learned a lot just watching YouTube, right?
Yeah.
There's shoot. think his name is Jimmy, Everything Gutter. He's got a great
Oh,
YouTube.
yes, I've seen his, yeah.
Yep. So I watched a lot there. I've actually still got some of his videos as part of like our training. And it's great. So yeah, learned a lot through that. Hired some guys who had installed a lot of gutter, taught me how to sit on a roof and install gutter and all that fun stuff. So
I still do that?
no, we don't do that.
No, yeah. As soon as you turn their back, you know, they're up on the roof, right?
Right. Yeah. We definitely don't train them to do that. So it's
Yeah.
but
It's tough, I know. Have you ever had someone fall off the roof?
not and get hurt. So yeah,
Well,
it turns into a good lesson.
yeah, I had a guy fall off a two-story roof. Never, not a broken bone, not a scratch on him. I can't believe it, but um,
Wow.
it's pretty scary. You
Right.
know, when I
Yep.
showed up on the job site, there was a police car, ambulance, fire truck,
Really?
the main city news crew there, and of
Oh,
course
wow.
my big lettered van. You know, it
Right.
was pretty scary, but he was okay. And oh, Department of Labor was there too.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah, they all were there before I even got there.
Wow.
Anyway, it was
You
pretty.
get hit with any big fines or anything?
You know what? I was scared to death. You know, we don't run a big crew. Um, we try to be as safe as we can. At least I preach to the guys to be as safe as they can.
Right.
I was worried at the time because it was kind of like winter slash spring. I was worried that some of the guys might not have had their safety training that was required. And then you get thinking about the first aid kits in the truck and, you know, little things.
Yep.
We had everyone had their tickets on them. Their
Right.
first aid kit was in there. The fire extinguisher was even, you know,
Wow.
dated properly.
Good for you,
I
man.
mean, we couldn't have done it any better. I couldn't believe it. And the Department of Labor guy, he actually, I think he felt a little bit bad for me. He said, "You know what? You guys did everything you could. No one got hurt." I thought they were going to give him a fine because he had the harness was in the truck. The
Oh,
Department of Labor guy asked, "Have you been trained?" And yes, I have my proper training. Where is the harness? He was able to show him. He said, "Well, why didn't you have it on?" He said, "Well, I just jumped up just for a couple minutes. I didn't think it was a big deal." Well, he just basically, made it all about, what he did. It wasn't anything about me, right?
right.
So he could have had a couple $1,000 fine, but they let him go. So
Really, they would fine the actual employee in
as long
Canada.
as I mean, it rolls uphill. So if I wouldn't have provided the training,
Right.
or if he didn't have the harness, or, obviously, I'm sure I would have been fine. But everything was there, and yeah, normally they would fine the guy, but because he fell off the roof, and I did have to discipline him. So in our little workbook or our employee handbook, if you're caught up on the roof, you get your first time, you get 3 days off without pay. So we had to give
Oh,
him three
gotcha.
days. We had to give him 3 days off.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So,
Wow. You guys don't have OSHA in Canada, right?
well, we have the Department of Labor, which would be the same
Right.
sort of thing.
Same situation. Right. Yeah. I don't know that OSHA, maybe I'm speaking out of turn here, but I've never heard of them finding an actual employee. They'll find the company, but never the employee.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I can't say I've heard of them finding an employee, but I think they do, but maybe I'm wrong.
Right. Huh.
Anyway, I always
Crazy.
threaten them, you'll get a fine. So at least that way,
Right.
I know.
Yeah, exactly. Huh. Well, yeah, you dodged a bullet there. Mine fell off like an 8 foot high roof and like just jumped off. He kind of started to slide and just jumped off, I guess.
Yeah.
But called me up. I was like, dude, you good? Like what's going on? He's like, no, I'm fine. Like, I'm calling you because I think it's funny. And I'm like, well, it's not.
No.
Like, don't be doing that crap. Come on. So
I
yeah.
actually we did do some roofing for a period of time, just 1 year. That was enough. But I had a guy have a heart attack on the roof without a harness on. So that was a little bit scary. He didn't fall, but they had to go up and get him on the roof. It was pretty, the other guy working with him called me, and he said, "What should I do?" I said, "Well, call 911." So
Right.
he did, and he was okay. But
Holy cow.
yeah,
That's like my biggest fear is like dehydration,
yeah,
um, health, heart attacks, things like that, heat strokes. Like
yeah,
that's my biggest fear. I've had guys that are like, "Oh yeah, I'm diabetic, but I'm fine. I'm fine." I'm like, "No, like I'm sorry. Like I'd love to hire you, but I can't. I can't risk you being up on the roof
yeah.
and your blood sugar be low, right?
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen." So, yep.
Listen, just going back to when you started your gutter business, did you buy a new machine, buy a used machine? Like, how did you get
Yeah.
started?
I think I might win the lowest startup cost ever. Um, so I bought a box truck for $1,500 from a local contractor. Um, I bought I used a couple old ladders that I had, and I had to buy a new 24-foot ladder. Okay. I had all my own drills and stuff just from being a man, right? And then, oh, my kids are walking in right now. I'm gonna I'm gonna sneak into a different room real quick.
Sure.
Sorry. Awesome. Thanks for the donuts, guys. I'll be right out. Okay. They just got back from a really cute, really cool museum thing, I guess. So,
Okay.
anyways, and then I borrowed $2,600. I bought my first 5-inch Panther machine, KWM Panther, and it came with about 200 pounds of white 5-inch coil. And I was like, shoot, like I need this because that coil will almost pay for that machine for me. And that's what it did, man. I went down, I picked it up in my 1991 GMC Sierra, and I pulled up, and that burned so much oil in the 3-hour drive to get the machine that it was knocking like a son of a gun. And thank God the guy I was buying it from, his son who lived with him was a mechanic and was like, "Oh, dude, you just need oil. Like, we're good. Let's get some oil in it," and set me on my way with some oil. But yeah, that's how I started. I think when I'd figured it up, I think I was like all in like 4,500 or $5,000 into starting my gutter business.
Yeah.
And it's still to this day is incredible because now we buy machines for $15,000,
Yeah.
but it's crazy. So did that. My box truck was breaking down, every month. I could plan on $1,000 here, $15 here, or $1,500 here. I was constantly doing that. I couldn't park in customers' driveways because it was always leaking something, so but just those, yeah, I started it. I got rolling, and it worked. So I rolled, like I literally took black paint and I rolled it on the entire box truck.
Wow.
So
Is your
yeah,
color still black?
no,
No.
now all my vehicles are white. Yeah, I just did black because the white was really bad on it, and it was like peeling off, and it had yellow and stuff, and I thought black would hide it best. So that's what I did. Yeah, it
How many
was
years ago was that then?
that was February of 2016. So 6 years ago, right?
So
5 years ago. So
not too
yeah,
long. So it
no.
almost sounds like, just thinking about, you're talking about how long you've had the Facebook group. You must have started that pretty soon after you started your business, I guess.
Yeah, it was about 2 years after. I was like, oh, there's not a community like there's, you know, spray foam installers, garage door techs, like all this stuff, but there's nothing for gutter people. So I did it. And it started super slow actually. Like year one, I think there was like 130 people in it.
Yeah.
And then it just slowly started to grow. And really now, like Facebook's just like pumping it everywhere, and people are finding it all the time. And the
Yeah.
amount of scam people that are trying to get in is fun, but you know,
Why? So who tries to get in that? Like, who tries
oh,
to?
just like the fake accounts, that their first and only post will be like, I'm horny, click the link, or, like those type of things. And,
Oh, okay.
buy Ray-Ban sunglasses for $12, like, those scam ones. But
Yeah.
we do have homeowners try and get in pretty frequently too. I've gotten some nasty messages regarding that, like, why won't you let me in? This is bullshit. And I'm like, because
Why-
you're not a gutter installer. Like, use Google if you're looking for somebody to install your gutters.
Right.
Like, um, so yeah.
So, when did you start getting into getting involved with Automate, Grow, and Grow Sell?
Yeah, so I started that as a client with Automate Grow Sell. So I was what's called the conqueror, right? I was getting coached, mentored. Um, January of 2019, that's when they launched it, and um, loved it. I had Pat Clark as my first coach, and then Josh Latimer as my coach the following 2 years before I became a coach. So really awesome program where, I mean, they literally give you the roadmap to success. Every document, like as a coach, all your documents go into, we call it base camp. So you get everything from like technician job ad copy all the way to general manager pay structure and job description, your whole company handbook, all of it. And I
Yeah.
mean, you can't really beat it. For $1,000 a month, you get once a week group coaching call. So you get your coach and then 4 businesses on that call. And then once a month, you get a 1 hour one-on-one with your coach. So yeah, you can't beat the value of it. I mean, just the documents alone are worth what you're paying. So
Yeah. And when you were in that group, were they other gutter guys or just other small business owners?
yeah. Until this last year, I was the only gutter person in the entire group. Colby Armstrong joined this year.
Okay.
And so now I'm not, but John Majak, however you say his last name, is also
Yeah.
a coach too.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I knew that actually.
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So, what's next for, I know you got a lot of stuff. I don't know if you could talk about that sort of stuff, I
Yeah,
guess it's public now, right?
it is. It's all public. So we just merged with a company in Cleveland, Ohio. I was in a Conquer group with Philip for the entirety of, so 2019 through current day.
Mhm.
And actually our last group, like we still get together and talk all the time. Even though I'm no longer in Conquer as a conqueror. Um, so yeah, he and I got together. We were at an event in early January, and I had this idea, like, why are we trying to conquer this separately? Why don't we come together? You've got a different skill set than I do, and we can grow and scale this thing much faster if we just stay in our lanes and do our superpower. So yeah,
So
we
he's
merged.
all roofing, or was he already in the gutter business?
He's all roofing right now, but he's really like, you know, it's not so much like we're in different worlds as far like we have different skill sets in roofing versus gutter, um, but more so in he's all like sales marketing. That's his baby. He loves that,
Mhm.
and I used to be really heavy sales, and I'm kind of like stepping back from that, and I'm really like systems motivated and relationship motivated. I love negotiating. I've helped quite a few people, a few guys that'll watch this video in the gutter pages, help them buy businesses, right? That's a superpower of mine that I really enjoy. Um, so that's my focus, and where I'm going to be growing the business is through acquisitions, right? So as we continue to go nationwide, looking for, the dude who's tired of the labor shortage, tired of trying to get materials, or just old and ready to get out of it, or wishes he could just sell, right? Like, looking for the people who have a good business already. They're just kind of capped, right? And looking for that next level. And so we can come in, buy them, and the game plan is, so say we come to whatever, Denver, right? So say we come to Denver, where Gutter-Con is going to be. We buy XYZ company here on the north side of Denver, and they do just seamless gutters, right? We're of course going to add roofing to them, right? And then we're going to launch a second location on the south side of Denver so that their radius is just barely touch, right? Is the game plan. So we'll have 2 locations per city is our model, and just keep growing it.
So will you still, I assume you're going to start doing this close to where you are now. You're not going to do it in Denver.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yep. So I'm up in Ludington, Michigan. We're a very small store, and we're actually the furthest north that we plan to be. There's just too much seasonality. It was looking like spring up in Ludington last week. We had 50 degrees this weekend and snow's melting away. And this morning, bam, 6 inches of snow. And now it's supposed to be sunny and upper 30s the rest of the week.
Yeah.
Right. It's just like, man, we had 120 square ready to go down this week. And now it's like, all right, I don't know if we can do that. Right. We got, $30,000 worth of gutter that we were going to do this week. Don't know if we can do that now.
Yeah.
Right. So Ludington's going to be our northernmost company. And then we really want like Cleveland to kind of be our line across the US. Nothing north of that. I guess if we got like West Coast, but we don't really have any plans to deal in those heavily blue states, we'll say. Too much red tape. So, but yeah, we're gonna, so in Cleveland, we're already on the east side of Cleveland, and we're in the process of launching a store on the west side of Cleveland. So
Right.
Working that and figuring that model out, and then it's just where can we go from there. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Well, that all sounds pretty exciting. And you said what, you're 30 years old?
I am. Yeah.
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 Couple kids.
I have 2. I got a 6 and a 3-year-old. Love them to death. Almost 4, actually. She's almost 4 and going on 14. So yeah.
And you're into motorcycling too, huh? Aren't you?
Oh man, dirt bikes
Dirt
is
biking.
yeah, we shoot, that's what we do for fun, man. My wife and I were counting how many dirt bikes and 4-wheelers and 3-wheelers we have on the way down here, because she made a joke like, well, yeah, but you've got 10 dirt bikes. I'm like, no, I think it's 12. And
Couple
we
you didn't
count.
tell her about.
Yeah, we do have 12 dirt bikes, and we have 4 other, ATVs,
Toys. Yeah.
3-wheelers, whatever. That's when we have people over, that's what we do, man. Like, so that's how we pass time. That's the fun we have. We've given a lot of people their first time ever riding a dirt bike. Like, it's fun for us.
Yeah.
So
Cool. I had a dirt bike ever since I was 7 years old. I don't have one now, but I always loved dirt bikes and stuff like that too. So
much fun, man. So much fun, and good way to stay out of trouble. And that community is so cool. Like, you go to the races, and my son's on a KTM 50 now, and you got to be changing oil, clutches, and all that stuff pretty frequently. And they're just temperamental 2-stroke little machines that rip.
yeah.
And you get to a race, and it's like clockwork, man. It's gonna happen. Something breaks, and all the other dads are like, hey, I've got it, let's go. And they got, before you know it, me and 2 or 3 other dads are working on his bike, trying to get ready for the next race. And it's just a really cool community. So
Cool.
yeah.
So I don't want you to give away everything, but you're going to be speaking at GutterCon. You're going to be talking a little bit about keeping employees happy, your employee retention. Tell us a little bit.
Yeah. So, I mean, my business struggled just like, majority of people who are listening to this, right? It's hard to get employees. Employees suck. I hate my employees, all that crap. I've said it. I've been there. I've done it. And then like 2 years ago, something changed. Hey, bud, you can sit here, but please don't try and get on the screen. Okay. So 2 years ago, I read the book. Actually, it was 3 years ago. I read the book Dream Manager, and I thought, wow, this is really cool. No idea how to implement it. And then I just had a heart change where I started like genuinely investing into my employees. I helped one of them start a gutter business. He was moving, but helped him start it. And I've helped a few employees start their own businesses, and it really just like changed something in my brain. Like, you know what? If they're not here forever, that's okay. Like, that shouldn't be my goal. My goal should be for them to be the best that they can possibly be. And so that's really been what I've been chasing after the last few years, is how I can help unlock that potential that I see in all my people that they sometimes don't see in themselves.
Mhm.
And so at Gutter-Con, I'll be sharing, a few tips and tricks, and how we get people there, right? How you get someone who is, growing up dirt poor and thinks that they have to live paycheck to paycheck since all they've ever known. How
Yeah.
do you get them to overcome that in their mind, right? Or, that, whatever, that kid who was abused as a kid, or, that employee who was abused as a kid, to think that he's actually worth something now, right? Um, how that happens. I'm sorry, one second. Hey, Axel, can you close that door? Okay. Sorry, room service just showed up. But yeah, just so I'll be sharing at Gutter-Con a few tips and tricks, and how to make that happen, how to unlock that, how to help your employees kind of overcome their own self-limiting beliefs, and see their full potential. So
Yeah. Cool. Well, we're anxious. I'm certainly anxious to hear a little bit about that. That's, one of the main things I struggle with right now. I mean, I've got so much work to do and just can't get the work done. So,
right.
I'm gonna hopefully walk away with a few tips from you.
My goal is that if you guys show up there and take notes and implement what I'm saying, that you won't have to recruit in the future. You're gonna have people knocking your door down to try and work for you. So, because that's what I have. That's what we have going on right now. We are having a recruit in our Cleveland branch right off the bat, just to fill some seats. But even that, like, we are very particular on who we're hiring. Right, we're not just filling seats. Right, it's important that we're hiring the right people to fit the culture that we want, and people that are wanting more out of life. So, yeah.
Nice. Good. Okay, well, look, thanks so much for taking time out of, I know you're a busy guy, and appreciate you doing this, and hope some guys and gals that are watching this will get something out of it. And, hopefully they'll come see you, and me too, at GutterCon in end of April. So,
Hope so, man. Hope to see everybody there.
okay.
So,
Well, thanks, Colin. Thanks
all
again,
right.
and safe travels.
Thank you. We'll see you guys
Okay.
and girls.